Look at that.
It looks good enough to eat on. Doesn't it?
Oh yeah, oh
it's
yeah.
Good enough to eat on. And then feel that. Feel that, because you know what we're gonna talk about now? Because this is gonna be the #1 thing people talk about when they talk about dining room tables.
Finish.
Bingo. That's why I called down Rich, who is the manager of the finishing department here, and we are gonna deep dive the finish. He's gonna tell us some good news. What is the #1 thing people want to know about dining room tables?
Durability, the finish.
We're gonna have more questions on the finish of this table. It's like the most important part of the table.
Right, how's it wear?
How does it wear?
Right.
How do we take care of it? Is it gonna get water rings? Is it gonna, like all the concerns? What is this finish?
It's a pigment conversion finish. It's catalyzed product, so it hardens. Catalyzation is what hardens the sealer itself.
And this is the difference between a 2-part catalyzed varnish like we apply here and say a lacquer. The catalyzed varnish, can it ever uncatalyze or go back? Can it ever convert back?
No.
This catalyst takes this liquid and turns it into a rock, right? It just permanently affixes it. Unlike lacquer, which is what's used on lower quality furniture. When you're dealing with a lacquer, that's when you end up with
Water rings.
Bingo. Yeah, get
Water rings, lack of durability, scratches real easy, you know, stuff like that.
So this is where they do the sealer coat. Just walk us through the next step.
After it gets sealed, it'll get put over here to air dry for about 20 minutes.
Why is that?
Because it needs to harden a little bit, like get a skin on it.
Yep.
Before you put it in the heat, because it'll blister. Especially with like dark colors, with our mochas and our dovers, and multi-step colors, like a dye with the wipe stain. If you do not let it, if you don't let it harden a little bit, it will blister and bubble.
One of our wood options is the stained maple, the espresso maple. Does getting the stained maple impact the durability of the finish at all?
None.
Zero.
Zero.
Nuggies.
Zero.
The base coat gets the material on. That gives it a lot of the protection. Then the scuff gives it the feel.
Right.
And that's another thing most lower end wood shops, they're barely scuffing. They don't do a good job scuffing because it's a high labor. And then how well they do the scuff dictates the next step.
How well the top coat will look.
Bingo.
It's like doing body work on a car. If you paint your car black, everyone knows that if you don't prep it and don't do the body work right, that's going to be an issue.
Yes.
Woodworking is no different. Woodworking is no different than body work, basically. Gotta prep it right before your final coat.
They've sealed it, they've scuffed it, so now it's just totally smooth, and then it's coming in here for the final coat. Like, why did we come through the friggin' the doors of Mordor, or like of
This room is protecting our product before it goes for final coat. Climate controlled, humidity, temperature.
Yep.
Dust free, so we can spray something here and the oven is running, we can load this room up and keep going.
It's going to come into this protected environment where it is, the temperature, the humidity is controlled, and there's absolutely no dust. It's going to get the final coat straight into the oven without ever going outside
Until it's cured.
of the controlled environment.
Once it comes out of the oven, if dust is floating, it lands on it, it will not stick.
Oh my God. The heat increases the rate of reaction in the catalyst, so it hardens it quickly. That's why they use the heat and air. So now talk about the final step. They let it like rest in off gas, essentially.
We like to keep it about 3 hours. Once it comes out of the oven, that's ideal world. Let it cure outside, air temperature again. Let the breeze go over it before we package it or even try to handle it.
You want to give it that final cure before you handle it and before you wrap it.
You don't want customers getting a piece that's got handprints or end cap bubble wrap marks on it, stuff like that. So we're looking at that also.
All right, you ready for lightning round? So you've got a dining room table that we've finished perfectly. I have a sweaty glass and I put it on that tabletop. I'd sit it there for a day. Is that an issue?
We've done that test before and it was never an issue.
What about heat?
We've had tables come back that someone put Thanksgiving, you know, and put the turkey down and left the ring.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So that is something.
Heat, you know, 400 degrees is not gonna, my top coat's not gonna protect that table.
That's good. The water, apparently not much of an issue.
Nope.
Direct heat, use a trivet. If they put something down and then they put the turkey on, they'll be good. They'll be fine. Cleaning these tables, what would you clean the table with?
Light dish soap, soapy water is good.
They should be using any sort of standard mild dish soap, like just a hand soap, a dish soap. Do not use, and I think you'll agree with me, do not use abrasive like
Brillo pad.
Brillo pad, steel, wool.
Oh God, do you think people would actually do that?
You'd be surprised how much stuff we get back. You're like,
How? Something that's used for like a metal sink or tile is almost always too abrasive for wood. Within the realm of wood, this is the most durable type of finish that you can use on wood. It's got a superior feel. And the thing is, if you use common sense, it will last you for years and will age beautifully. Just don't use steel wood, steel wool, abrasives, or caustic chemicals. Like, it's that simple. Did you learn something about finish, JV?
I learned a lot. I learned a lot. I actually didn't realize how, yeah.